path to finishing the NDA this week has been good bipartisan cooperation and a string of
I'll tell you now, I'm not here to poke fun at Mitch McConnell over this scene. This, to me, was actually painful to watch. I felt bad for the man who I personally don't like. But no person should suffer from obviously something wrong. But there's something more wrong than that. There's something that everyone needs to be aware of. I don't know if you noticed this man in your screen. Frame it in a little closer. Did he cause this event himself as he walked by, giving McConnell an awkward stare? There's more to this story than meets the eye. There's more to this story than's being reported, and it's what we're going to cover here today. My name is Justus Knight. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I certainly hope you will. Make sure your bell is checked, but most importantly, make sure it's checked to all, or else you simply won't get notified of anything I work on here. Now, this story is going to take a twist, I promise you that. So before you go passing judgment in the comments, give it just a moment to develop. Also, if you want to support me, which I hope you will, so we can continue to bring you black and white news framed in the manner you deserve, that you'll go to restrictedrepublic.com, subscribe today. It's a platform with no commercials, no interruptions, no sponsors, beholden to no one but you, our audience, the way news was meant to be. Journalism, the way it was supposed to be, referenced and resourced at all times. Lisa Haven and I today are continuing our offer of discount code INDEPENDENCE in monthly checkout. That'll get you $4 a month for 2 years plus 14 days for free, because it may be the last place you can actually get uncensored and unfiltered news. Get there today. If you see what's happening in the background of all these platforms, you would understand the window for news that you get on others, well, that's closing quickly. But we got to get back to the story of Mitch McConnell and the silence that ensued. What bothered me most was probably beyond this. And it happened just moments afterwards, and I'll fumble through the screen here for a minute, and you'll watch as Mitch is escorted off. But Mitch is not asked to leave, nor taken anywhere. They simply let him stand there. Further, a man obviously suffering, a man frozen in time. To say that something isn't significantly wrong is, in my opinion, a great deal of abuse. But again, this is happening throughout Congress, throughout the president's office, and no one says a word. They pretend it doesn't exist. McConnell episode alarms Senate GOP. The Senate minority leader trailed off during a press conference and stared straight ahead for a few seconds as his fellow senators asked if he was okay. It's by far more than that. I told him I got sandbagged, McConnell said, a reference to Biden's public fall over a sandbag earlier this year, the famous fall that you're all aware of. I don't need to replay it, but we watch this time and time again on our nightly news in clips across Twitter and TikTok and everywhere else, and we get a good chuckle off of it. But is it something truly to be laughing about? These folks are meant to represent we the people, but they don't anymore, do they? The very demographic they're meant to represent is a minuscule portion of what needs to be represented and who needs to be represented. But again, as I jested about the man I circled, who obviously had nothing directly to do with this story, but he represents the many in Congress who are ignoring what they have to be seeing every day, not stepping up to saying a word, just simply allowing it to happen. But we're all in responsibility for that now, aren't we? Something happened. It looks like he had about 20 seconds here. His staff indicated that he felt a little lightheaded. That happens to us all. No, it doesn't happen to us all. It doesn't happen to us all. You can't just pass this away because you view them as the establishment, the ruling class, and so they're immune to what would be common sense. But that's continually happened. Dianne Feinstein, Joe Biden, continue to go through the litany of issues we've seen on our screen. To say that happens to all of us is not true. Mitch has been fine, same old self. He did have a concussion, and a concussion will put you down. Oh, he had a concussion, all right. One that actually turned his hands blue. Did anybody stop him? Did anybody say, Mitch, it's probably time to just rein it in? There's something seriously wrong here? No, they didn't. They allowed it to continue. Hence again, the man who I circled in yellow, blurry of course, so you can't identify who he is because he wasn't meant to be identified. He represents the many that surround Mitch McConnell and others that simply allow it to continue. The people that are meant to represent we the people can barely, a lot of them, even stand up anymore. This is the image that we are exhibiting to many world leaders around the world and pretending it's okay. It's not. We must always exude strength and confidence. In a world that's ever more dangerous, with enemies growing stronger on a daily basis, the United States has been representing weakness and issue and incompetence. How is that okay? In any world, it's not. Biden, we could play clip after clip, and people put it on TikTok, and people put it on Twitter and Facebook, and we all have a good chuckle, don't we? This is nothing to laugh about. It's incomprehensible how this is even allowed to continue. Example after example.
Get something done, if it holds near and dear to you that you like to be able to, anyway, we're going to get a lot done.
Example after example. The inability to even continue a thought. The inability at times to what appears to be the ability to even stay awake.
Largest gathering of Arabs and Israelis in a decade at the Gulf Forum, and we resolved the maritime boundary dispute between Israel and Lebanon, which people thought could never happen. We opened up an airspace for Israel and over Saudi Arabia and Oman after I had a little visit there, and we brought Israelis and Palestinians together at a political level at Aqaba and as well as Shram. And as I affirmed,
I wanted to play both sides of the clip to show I'm not trying to make light of anything. This is a very serious issue. An issue that needs to be contended with, can't simply be ignored. Everyone who walks by McConnell or Biden or the many others on a daily basis and say, it's okay, it's not. None of it is. And so before tragedy strikes on our TV screen, which is only a matter of time, it's time that someone says something. If it's term limits, if it's age limits, whatever it may be, that's within constitutional bounds, it needs to happen. Mitch McConnell was no laughing matter. It's actually terrifying to watch. And more terrifying is the fact that it continues to happen, and we simply allow it. I love you all. Until next time, Godspeed and God bless. Justus Knight, signing out.